Okay, guys, welcome back. This is a founder story different. This is my story as a founder, the things, my experiences, all the stuff that I'm going through. I figured why not start releasing a lot of the things that I've been doing behind the scenes. Obviously, you see me when I'm recording, but you don't see me, my life outside of that. And right now, I've been traveling. We've been traveling around Europe. It's been an incredible trip. We also started in Saudi Arabia, which we're going to get into today. But I wanted to walk you through what it's been like so far on my travels. Right now, I'm here in Paris in 1ARR. I think that's how I say it right, but it's a super lively, busy area. The food, the drink scene. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's pretty amazing out here. Just the energy, everything. But we stayed in all different areas in Paris. Some area was out there, more residential. The barbecue chicken was the highlight, but it was far from everything. Then we've stayed really in the heart of things where it was almost too busy in the Latin quarters, too many tourists for me. And now we're here at this area, which has been great. But Saint Germain has been my favorite. But let's get into it about Saudi Arabia Airlines Business Class on the airlines called Saudia. All right, so I just flew with Saudia, which is the Saudi Arabia Airlines, and I've got to say this is one of the most comfortable, surprising flights I've taken in a long time. I'm going to walk you through the whole experience start to finish and how it was on my business class trip, from the seats, the food, the service, the amenities, everything. There were definitely some highlights, maybe one or two things I would improve on or change, but overall, it was a very impressive airlines. So as I boarded, I could tell this was going to be a different kind of flight. I really enjoyed the lounge access getting on, but the crew greeted me right away. They were warm, attentive. Even though the plane wasn't brand new, the seats were surprisingly comfortable. I've been on some other airlines where they use older planes and the seats were terrible, but honestly, more comfortable than some of the newer planes I've even flown on with other airlines. Everything felt roomy well throughout. And you could tell service was a big priority from the minute that you stepped on the plane and you sat down. You knew immediately this is going to be great. They greeted you with a drink, and that drink was delicious. Let's talk about the amenities kit, because this is one of the best things I've ever gotten. I really enjoy getting the bag and the amenities kit. They gave us a full kit. I love the bag. I still use the bag. I put all my toiletries in there now. But anything you need was in there, from lip balm, face cream, face oil. And these were not cheap. These were really high quality. I think they're from Norway or Finland, but it was great. In fact, at most, I'd say since that flight, I'm still using the products at home. That alone says a lot about the quality. They're clearly thought out about the little details that make a long flight more comfortable. So like I was saying before, about when you get on the plane, you're greeted with a drink. So they don't have any alcohol, which is fine because I don't really drink anyways. But I didn't even miss it because they had mocktails that were amazing. Like, these were really, really high quality mocktails of all your favorite drinks. They had soft drinks, whatever you wanted, you could drink, from tea, that as long as it didn't have alcohol, they had it. I tried a bunch of different mixes, even though I don't really drink alcohol or mocktails normally, but I figured why not? They were refreshing. This was a nice change, I think, from I might drink a little bit of wine or something on a plane to sleep better, but I never really end up getting great sleep anyways. So the nice thing was it was unlimited, and they bring it to you with a smile. And then the food. This honestly was the highlight of the trip for me. I mean, this flight wouldn't have been complete. And I always judge the food, always. So they said you order whatever you want on the menu, from burgers to lamb to unique experiences local to Saudi Arabia. And I figured, let's do that. I want to try something different. I ordered a bunch, probably too much food. And the appetizer came out, and I thought this must be the main meal. It was massive. It was like 8 different plates, So I'm like, wow, I'm getting really full. And then they came out with the main course. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is like sitting at it was like a Michelin star restaurant. And that's amazing. But you're 35,000 feet up and you're eating like this. And for me, I don't know. I always judge the food. I got so full, and I was sad because before we got on the plane, I wasn't sure what I'd be having, and I was hungry. So I ate but I overate, and that's okay, right? You're in business class, you might as well splurge. And I'm trying to stay keto. I'm trying not to gain too much weight, but I threw all that out the window on this flight. And then snacks. So during the flight, you can have any food you want, but you can have snacks. These snacks, I'll put some pictures of these snacks, from popcorn to candies to chocolate bars, you name it. There was this popcorn, and these chips were amazing. Oh my gosh, the chips. But I would rank this food experience up there with the best top airlines I've flown. I think this might have been the best food experience I've ever flown in my life. And of course, no long flights complete without in-flight entertainment. And Saudia delivered. The screen was big, high quality, made watching movies and shows very enjoyable. The headset they provided was solid. It was really some high quality brand. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a Bose quality type European brand. I do have to say, after wearing it for a few hours, maybe because I have big ears, but my ears did hurt a little bit. But that could just be because of my ear size. But that's not really a deal breaker, because it probably, for you might not feel that. But the movies, the shows, great selection, a bunch of international stuff. All the stuff I really wanted to watch was there. Something I do is, before I go on a plane, I try not to watch too many things beforehand, because I like to catch up when I'm on them. Now, one complaint I had, it would be the Wi-Fi. Either it wasn't working properly or it just wasn't strong enough. At times it was there and other times it wasn't. So, I know Wi-Fi in the air is normally hit or miss. Many airlines say, oh, we have it, and then I get on and it's not there. So I would say, out of everything, this was a bigger miss for me. I really wanted to work and I wanted to do things, but unfortunately I could not do it because the Wi-Fi didn't work. So I was forced to sit there and enjoy my experience in other ways. Maybe this was just, somebody from above telling me that I need to chill and relax. But where Saudia really stood out was the service. The crew checked on me constantly, always making sure I had everything I needed, but they weren't overbearing, whether that was a drink, food, blankets, whatever. They were friendly, professional, genuinely seemed to care about making the experience great. I've flown on airlines where you feel like you're bothering them, you can't find them. Many airlines I go on, I can never even find anyone when I need something. And this was a very long flight. This was like 12-hour flight. But this was the opposite. They were there, but they weren't overbearing. And anything I needed, they were always willing to help. And they made sure that I was comfortable. So overall, flying with Saudia was a really memorable experience. Super comfortable seating, amenities kit that I'm still using weeks later, unlimited food and mocktails, incredible service. All of that more than made up for the Wi-Fi issue and the headset getting a little bit uncomfortable over time. I'd definitely fly with them again, and honestly, I'd recommend them. If you're considering routes where Saudia is an option, it's really one of those flights that you should take. I would put it up there with flying pretty much. If I'm going to go on Emirates, I'm going to go on Singapore Airlines. Obviously, it's not first class, like where you have your own room, but this is a great business class option, and it was very enjoyable for a long haul flight. Plus, I got to spend one night in Saudi Arabia, which was such a great trip and a unique experience because I had not been there before. I would rate this a 4.9 out of 5 stars. Thanks everybody for listening today while I go through my recent trip. Thanks everyone, and I'm going to catch you up on all the places I've been since on this trip. We started Saudi Arabia, we went to Vienna, which I've already been before. We went to Oslo, Norway. We went to Helsinki, Finland. We went to Estonia. We went to Krakow, Poland. Great experience there too.